Okay guys, it's time to reveal my true color. I'm a nerd. I freaking mapped all the aesthetics in the world. I know that there are billions of aesthetics out there, but I filtered down to 55 aesthetics that literally makes most of the sense. When I started to explore my own aesthetic, there is no consolidated system that tell me what are all the aesthetics in this world, and the most importantly, what are the aesthetics that exist in the history. Because I'm not gonna buy anything trendy items that only exist for a summer on TikTok. I want to make sure that every single items that I bought make sense for years and years. And I want to find out the patterns, the insight in the entire fashion industry. This map will answer all of that question. Ready? Let's go. Bottom part. It's quiet and classic. Old money and quiet luxury, a slightly different accent. The old money is all about, I have this sweater from my grandma and it's a freaking Chanel sweater, Loro Piana jacket. Quiet luxury, it's the same restraint, but it's newer money, being tasteful about your wardrobe. It's probably a $5,000 coat from the row, and with the logo, deliberately, you don't see any logo here. Is it an Hermes bag or a Celine bag? But you don't see logo screaming at you from the quiet luxury style. And let's start by the second one, Preppy. Let's take the old money world and put it on a high schooler or a college student. So she probably live in Boston, live in one of those Ivy League school college village, and she loves a crisp colored shirt. She does tennis after class. In the summer, she probably are in New York seeing US Open. So those are the preppy girl. I have friends who lives in Boston that they're all dressing like this. It's a pretty common. So Ralph Lauren's the top brand for that. You can find cheap options here. I like that the key pieces part I put it here because some of us have a sweater here and have a pleated skirt. Then if you look at this chart, you feel like if you like this preppy style, you can be like, oh, I just need a lofter to become a preppy girl. So this is literally the whole point of this map. Oh, isn't that cute? Let's go to, what do we do? Let's go to the tennis court. The tennis court is literally you pull the racket from the preppy girl and you got the tennis court girl. You just love, obviously you likes to play tennis. So you could probably find her in a country club court and she loves a white on white look. And like I said, if you have the pleated tennis skirt, you can also be preppy and Tenniscore. I think the brand Sporty Rich, literally this is a Tenniscore girl. Oh, this is one of my favorite aesthetic. I love it because I used to have a pair of boots like this and I have a white trouser. I just find it so cool when you put them together. And then I realized there is literally an aesthetic for this. So these are the girls who want to own a horse. So you probably find them spending their whole weekend with their friends near a stable in the countryside. They like tall boots, they like tailored jackets, they like the smell of the leather, they like horses. I think that Coco Chanel literally founded the whole brand Chanel based on this look. If you go back to the history of Coco Chanel, she used to ride horse with men. Back in the history, women have to ride the horse sideways. So she designed those aesthetic. It was very innovative back then. Let's go to Riviera Resort. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I used to live in LA for a couple of years, and this is one of my favorite look. If you live in Miami, if you live in Mediterranean, if you live in Europe, in Greek, any of those cities closer to the ocean, this is your look. So because this is literally when, say, the quite luxury girl go on a resort vacation, this is what you pull on. I think if you like feminine style, those brands that you can find, you can wear more dresses. This Zimmermann, it's very luxurious, but they have good dress. And the whole point of this style is you have the white linen and white on white, of course. And then you also own a pair of sunglasses. And you probably sail a boat, sipping your espresso. This is the resort. Don't get me wrong. If you feel like, oh, I'm a college kid, I'm not rich yet, this part of who they are, generational wealth, is just a way to tell you where is this aesthetic coming from and what they value. For example, if you're a bad bitch who hates money, then you probably don't like these styles. Then you can go on to find other styles that you like, but you don't have to be old money to wear old money. Affordable options here too. Those are the brands that I recommend a lot. Let's climb down this ladder of money. Old money, quite luxury, preppy. Those styles come from a core belief of minimalism. So minimalism is control as value. You find color like cream, white, clean lines. They have 30 perfect things in their wardrobe, and then they just keep rotating those good quality stuff in their wardrobe like that. You can never see logos in their wardrobes. If we say old money, it's a signal for I'm a privileged person. I have inherited money. Minimalism signals I have such a good taste that I don't need anything else add on it. Very calm yet expensive style. I used to be very interested in the minimalism Japanese style in terms of interior design. And then once I got into it, I realized that looking minimalism and looking good means that you have to spend a lot of money and details and pay attention to the materials. Of course, there are affordable options. I'm just saying that minimalism screams luxury. This is literally the style that I literally recommend everyone to pay attention for because minimalism exists for a decade. Right now, minimalism is so cool and trendy because we're looking back at literally it's a rebranding of this 1990s minimalism style. All I'm saying is minimalism is something worth noticing and purchasing because it peaked once before. This chart doesn't include anything before 1920s. If you are interested in history of this world, you notice that when the economy goes bad, when the empire is about to collapse, people tend to wear very low-key minimalism style because the top, rich, powerful status people don't want to show off their wealth that much. Also, when the economy goes bad, people tend to dress more low-key. And that's why I'm saying that the minimalism and maximalism trends literally responds to one another like could go on and off and on and off. So your minimalism style items never goes bad. They just exist forever, trust me. Yeah. The 1990s minimalism has slip dress. That's a significant piece. So if you're a minimalism girl, in this day and age, if you go somewhere formal, if you go to a dinner party, this is something that you should dress and look into. The 1990 girls hates 1980 girls. Very maximalism style. So they are like, oh, we're gonna go simple. And this is literally how they started. You also find the Normcore. This is very interesting because my boyfriend sits in here. If you look at them, you probably mix them with a minimalism girl, but they are different. Even though they dress very simple, they believe in completely different things. The Normcore girl doesn't want anyone to notice them. They're like, I refuse to perform any taste. It's not like I don't have taste, but don't see any taste or trend or aesthetics from me. I am me. But the minimalism girl wears simple stuff. but they want to tell people that I have infectable taste. It's just a pair of jeans, and sometimes they wear hoodies, so they just want to be invisible. Scandinavian. It's like a cousin sister of minimalism. So she might live in a northern flats full of good designs. She loves a oversized blazer and a flat. She has the same restraint of the minimalism girl, but they are more cozy, and instead of being too cold and too simple, they can be a little bit braver with the color. And let's go to clean girl. This is such a trendy thing right now. A clean girl wears the minimalism outfit, but clean girl focus more on the glazed skin. You find her start her day at 5 p.m. doing a workout, and she loves the golden hoops. She owns a white tank, and then she drinks matcha. She does Pilates. I didn't include the VSCO girl, the VSCO girl. It's pretty much the same thing. It emerged from the internet. I don't think a clean girl aesthetic is gonna last long, but the whole value behind the clean girl is minimalism. It's taking control of your life, even though it looks effortless, but you really put yourself together. So this is the interesting tension here. That's what's make a aesthetic so charming. It's like you don't give a F, but you give a F, you know? Because I think that clean girl emphasized that right now people really focused on wellness. Like if you can have a good body, you get in the sun a lot, yet you have a good skin, that means you are living a very luxurious life. Let's go here. Oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite style. If I have a 9 to 5 right now, I'm literally gonna dress like this. Outfit Siren. Look at this. Model Giselle and her outfit in the movie Devils Wear Prada. It's literally her outfit. Like I said, if you don't find some aesthetics mentioned in this video, that means it's probably closer to a certain aesthetic, because I think that the whole academia, the nerdy, sexy, nerdy look is also the same thing as the office Siren. I didn't put the glasses here, but this is literally the most important thing. And you can also tell that the different accessories match different aesthetics. Different sunglasses literally represent different styles. But which is interesting because let's go back to 1980s, the power dressing. It's a big aesthetics back then because in the 1980s, that's when women started to work in an office with guys. The silhouette, it's very powerful. You have the patterned blazer, yet it emphasizes that this is for women. So it's in the 1980s, women wants to dress as same as men when they go to work because they want the same amount of power. If you're interested in feminism, you can tell that the same office look from 1980s till right now, women are actually embracing feminism at work now, because when they first entering the business world, they want to look exactly men. They want the boss look. But right now, women are not afraid to show their feminine side anymore. You can adjust your blazer a little bit to see if you want to emphasize your feminine side or you want to emphasize the bossy side of you, which is having the padded blazer. Okay, let's go to Sartorialism. If you live in UK, you probably are familiar with this Savile Row street. You know, like men like to have tailored blazers and suits. But if you're a girl who wants to be in this style, you probably are a businesswoman, and this is probably what you are looking into. We finished pretty much everything here. Let's move on to the French girl. The French girl actually evolved by time because, like, I think that 10 years ago, 20 years ago, people emphasized the hat, the red hat, and now it's more like a soft French girl. But if you're into French, you like their style, this is worth looking into. And like I said, if you live in LA, people go to Coachella. This is the aesthetic. The Western American style, it's more girls in the South. They like these styles, the cowgirl style. They are living in inland, not really close to the ocean. Let's go to this playful and pretty side. First thing first, let's not forget to mention Y2K. You got the low-rise jeans. There's a fashion theory saying that usually aesthetic comes back after 20 years. Why? Think about when you're a little kid, your cool aunt, what does she wear? 20 years later, when you are in your early 30s, when you are in your late 20s, those are the things that you started to feel like, oh, it's so cool. I wanted to bring back the old memories. So which is why literally right now you see a lot of people are wearing low-rise jeans because they want to rememorize what happening in the 2000s. And also, if you look at the relationship between economy and aesthetics, you realize that the early 2000s is a really good year. So you can see that people are looking forward to going into a new era, which is 2000, to embrace technology. Coquette. Y2K sparkles soften and it turned into more romantic in Coquette. So you find their lace, paint color, literally what Lana Del Rey wears. So it's more feminine and more youth because Y2K is a little bit loud and brash and Coquette is hyper feminine and a little melancholy. I do sometimes want my clothing to look a little bit touch of feminine, and then those are the things that I look for. So like I said, if you like any of these styles, you can be like, okay, so I'm gonna take this minimalism style as my core style, yet I want to embrace some of the other elements from other style because sometimes I want to be punk, sometimes I want to be a craft luxury, sometimes I want to be more a clean girl, sometimes I want to be, you know what I mean. So let's go to the Balletcore. If Coquette has a sister, it's Balletcore. So of course this girl likes to dance. It's not me, but like I said, you can embrace some elements. You're probably realizing that a lot of girls right now have a ballet flat. You can have that. So that's the whole 19 aesthetics. We covered the old money, minimalism, playful, effortless, and short tailoring. And for the next 36 aesthetics, I break it down into 2 videos, More is More and The Cool Girl. If you're interested in the fun side, the cool side of the spectrum, please don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.